Ladies and gentlemen, this is Larry Vaughn back here at Facebook again. I just want to congratulate our governor, Mike Braun, for calling out all these black preachers and poverty pimps that are approaching him trying to get money on their own behalf. One of the instances where I was over at the State House is when Pastor Posley and Lionel Rush was over there. A complete and total embarrassment. Mike Braun is doing a good job as government. As governor. He's cut off the so-called leeches, what I call when I was running for mayor, the mitigation being cut off. One example of that, he's cut an $8 million grant to families and fathers, which is one of those mitigation efforts that they have here in this city, which has been around for many years. I know one of my clients was there at the founding of that situation. And she said after she seen what they were doing, she had to step down off the board. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's people like this, people like that were on the, get on the radio and call me an illiterate idiot. They get on there and actually do that. Well, that's all right, because I understand what low information people had to resort to violence when they can't get their point across. But anyway, I just want to congratulate Governor Braun for putting these poverty pimps on a straight way, like Lionel Rush and Posley, going to the State House lobbying for $5 million for a failure of Martin University. They only have 200 students in that whole big building over there, which has a 2,000 student capacity. They're on the way out. Anybody that looks at their books is not going to give them anything. They got a grant once before. I seen Dr. White and Harrison over there begging, and they got that grant, and they squandered it, certainly squandered it. But in any case, they squandered the money. So when you see all these mitigation groups, the 5 Point Coalition, all these people are doing nothing. They can't help. Ladies and gentlemen, I say this every time. We need to train our men so that they can actually do work. Something tangible, like learning how to measure or cut or be obedient to a level. That's the only thing that's going to get them through life. If they think that going to college or going to somewhere else when you're actually illiterate, you can't do it. Cameron had people on his show this morning. I don't know whether I've been cut off from his show or what the problem is with that. I don't even care. But they were talking about how they operate in our schools around vulnerable children. They're trying to say that they can tell somebody what to do when in reality, all they're doing is collecting information, because you have to register for their programs. You're giving them information, and when you register, that gives them the opportunity to do anything with that information and sell it or do anything with it. But over the years, ladies and gentlemen, families and fathers, which have been defunded of over $8 million, and their building is now being sold to anybody that can buy it. What are they going to do with all that information that they've compiled over the years? What are they going to do with all that information with these charter schools and so-called helper organizations that have compiled on all our black men? They have their social security numbers, they have their emails, they have all of that. That's information that's dangerous to a vulnerable person. Again, I just restate, I thank Governor Braun. He's doing a great job. He's gotten rid of DEI. He's gotten rid of all the efforts to keep people tied down and begging all the time. I mean, thanks, Mike Braun. I thought you were a rhino, but you're whole and true. You need to, each and every one of them, when they call begging, you need to go ahead and just reject them and laugh at them. And if you really want to do something great, play the interactions you had with Lionel Rush in your office when you went behind closed doors with them to show the people what they actually lobby for, walking around money for their own pockets, and something to support a so-called university that has really, it's just no use for it here in this city because it's poorly run. And I had one person told me that one of their professors had green and orange hair, and was taking all her lessons offline and passing out copies of online stuff. What kind of university is that? I tell you, my feed on Facebook has Pastor Manning. Now, I promote him, and he's got millions of views on other people's websites, but I think people need to listen to that, both black and white people, to see what the problem is with black people. They don't understand Western civilization. They really don't do it. Larry Vaughn here at Facebook. I'm here now, and all these mitigation groups need to be extinguished immediately. Thanks, Mike Brown.